Manipulators don't fear the loudest person in the room. They love that person, because if they can get you to yell, argue, or defend yourself, they own you. They only fear one type of person, the one who sees the game and refuses to play. Someone who can look a guilt trip in the face and not flinch. Manipulation relies on one thing: getting you to react emotionally before you understand what's happening. Emotionally intelligent people kill that process dead. Here are 7 things manipulators absolutely despise about emotionally intelligent people, and how using them will make you bulletproof. Let's go. Number 1. They don't automatically react to emotional provocation. Manipulation is a trap, and the bait is almost always your own emotion. Manipulators rarely just ask for what they want. Instead, they manufacture an emotional state first: anger, panic, embarrassment, or guilt. And then they exploit your blind reaction to it. They throw a match and wait for you to explode. But emotionally intelligent people are incredibly good at separating 2 critical things. I feel something right now, and I need to act on it immediately. Imagine someone drops a highly disrespectful, passive-aggressive comment in front of your friends. They want you to lose your temper. They want you to look unhinged, so they can sit back, play the victim, and say, "Whoa, calm down, I was just joking." Instead of taking the bait and defending yourself, you just look at them, let the silence hang for a second, and calmly ask, "What exactly are you trying to say?" The trap instantly snaps shut on them. Now, instead of hiding behind your explosive emotional reaction, they are forced to logically explain their own toxic behavior out loud. Understand this: emotional regulation is not emotional suppression. The sting of the insult is still there. You still feel the anger. But that emotion doesn't get the steering wheel. It doesn't get automatic, unrestricted control over your behavior. But taking away their ability to trigger you is only their first problem. The second problem is much worse. They can no longer make you responsible for their emotions. Number 2, they can feel guilty without being controlled by guilt. Guilt becomes an incredibly useful tool to a manipulative person when your discomfort is mistaken for a genuine obligation. You might hear common pressure phrases like, "You've really changed lately," or "After everything I've done for you," or "If you actually cared about me, you would do this." The key distinction here is that an emotionally intelligent person takes a step back and asks themselves a crucial question. Did I actually do something wrong, or is this person just uncomfortable because I finally said no? Making that distinction destroys a massive amount of emotional leverage. Let's say a friend becomes visibly upset because you refuse an unreasonable favor they asked of you. You can entirely understand their disappointment and even feel a twinge of empathy without concluding that their disappointment means your boundary was somehow wrong. The power insight here is that someone else's negative emotion is just information. It is not automatically an instruction for you to change your behavior. Number 3, they notice when words and behavior don't match. Manipulators benefit tremendously when people evaluate them based on their verbal explanations and excuses rather than their historical patterns. Emotionally intelligent people, on the other hand, pay very close attention to congruence. They ask themselves, what do you say? What do you repeatedly do? And most importantly, do those 2 things actually match? Imagine someone repeatedly humiliates you in front of others and then later privately says, "You know I'm only joking, right?" The emotionally intelligent response isn't obsessing over whether or not they truly intended to cause harm. It's noticing the indisputable fact: every single joke you make seems to come at my expense. The deeper insight is that intentions can be debated endlessly. They can say they didn't mean it, and you can't technically prove otherwise. But patterns are much harder to argue with. And once someone starts trusting observable patterns more than empty promises, another common manipulation tactic begins falling completely apart. Number 4, they don't need everyone to like them. This is the exact point where emotional intelligence transforms into genuine social power. People who desperately need the approval of others are significantly easier to pressure. They can be controlled through the fear of rejection, exclusion, criticism, the silent treatment, threats to their reputation, or the sudden withdrawal of affection. A manipulator typically thinks, if I make them afraid of losing me, they'll comply with whatever I want. But an emotionally secure person operates on a completely different frequency. They think, if keeping you in my life requires betraying myself, losing you may actually be cheaper. Think about a time a group pressured someone to participate in something they fundamentally disliked. The socially dependent person worries, what will everyone think of me if I refuse? But the emotionally intelligent person asks, why should my sense of belonging require me to violate my own judgment? The important nuance to remember is that they still deeply value relationships. They simply don't value social acceptance at any price. Number 5. They ask questions. Manipulators don't want to answer. Manipulation thrives in the shadows of ambiguity. Emotionally intelligent people often take vague emotional pressure and force it to become concrete. Instead of defending themselves endlessly in circles, they flip the script and ask direct questions. They might ask, what exactly did I do? Or, why does me saying no make you so angry? Or, what specifically are you asking me to agree to right now? Or, why is this suddenly so urgent? For instance, a manipulative statement might be, if you really respected me, you'd do this for me. Rather than scrambling to prove their respect, the emotionally intelligent person calmly asks, why does disagreeing with you automatically mean I don't respect you? In one sentence, the hidden premise is entirely exposed. Good questions force emotional pressure to become an explicit, logical argument, and weak arguments almost always collapse when they are spoken clearly. But questioning manipulation still assumes you're willing to participate in the conversation. Number 6 is when that participation starts actively disappearing. Number 6, they know when to stop explaining themselves. Manipulators have a unique talent for turning basic explanations into endless negotiation material. You give them one reason, they attack it. You give another, they attack that one too. Eventually, you find yourself frantically defending a decision you never actually needed their permission to make in the first place. Here is a common progression. You say, I can't come tonight. They ask, why not? You reply, I have work. They counter with, you can do it tomorrow, just come for a little bit. You say, I also really need rest. And they deliver the trap. So you're choosing rest over spending time with us? The trap is believing that if you can just provide the perfect, flawless explanation, they will finally accept your boundary. But an emotionally intelligent response cuts the negotiation short. After enough clarification, they simply state, I understand you disagree with my choice. My answer is still no. The key takeaway is that a boundary doesn't become legitimate only after the other person approves of your reasoning. And this leads directly to the trait manipulators may hate the most, because once someone develops this ability, the old emotional buttons stop working reliably forever. Number 7, they recognize the pattern before the manipulator finishes the game. This is where the previous 6 traits beautifully converge. The emotionally intelligent person starts recognizing the recurring cycles that manipulators rely on. They see the loop. Charm, followed by a request, followed by resistance, followed by guilt. They notice provocation, leading to a reaction, ending in blame. Or the classic, you set a boundary. They respond with anger, followed by punishment, then reconciliation, and then the cycle repeats. The key idea is that individual isolated moments can always be explained away. But repeated sequences reveal the true underlying structure of the relationship. Imagine someone notices that every single time they say no, the other person becomes unusually cold. Then, that person questions their loyalty. Then, they withdraw affection entirely. And finally, they become overwhelmingly warm again, but only once you comply. Eventually, you stop interpreting each event separately. You recognize the cycle. The psychological payoff here is immense. Once the pattern becomes clearly visible, the manipulation loses much of its mystery and power. Instead of frantically thinking, "Why is this happening again?" you think, "I know exactly what comes next." That shift is incredibly powerful because unpredictability creates confusion, but predictability creates choice. The moment you can observe the pattern from the outside, instead of becoming absorbed by it on the inside, the manipulator is no longer controlling the entire frame. To bring it all together, emotionally intelligent people aren't powerful because they somehow feel less than the rest of us. They're powerful because they can feel deeply without ever surrendering their own judgment. They can experience guilt without falling into automatic obedience. They can feel anger without giving in to impulsiveness. They can face rejection without abandoning themselves to win someone back. They can feel deep affection without ignoring toxic patterns. And they can sit in conflict without needing an immediate people-pleasing resolution. That creates a massive problem for anyone who depends on emotional leverage to get their way. The emotionally intelligent person's buttons still exist, but pushing them no longer guarantees the desired response. The ultimate goal isn't to become cold, distant, or unfeeling. The goal is to become incredibly difficult to emotionally steer against your own better judgment. Because manipulation becomes so much weaker when you can recognize exactly what you're feeling, understand precisely why you're feeling it, and still decide, this emotion is real, but the decision is still mine. Do you relate to any of the signs mentioned here? Have you recognized these patterns in your own relationships, or perhaps even in yourself? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video insightful and want to see more content like this, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.